Hello, this is the first vlog, non-podcast, since we started to get a lot of comments. A lot of comments for me, anyway. I read them all, although for some I lose track of replying. But anyway, the first thing, my hair color. Obviously, green is not my favorite hair color. Green is my favorite color in general, but hair color, no. But I dyed it green, bright green. That's the hair you saw in my shamanism video. So my last vlog, actually that was taken like way back. I dyed it green because that's the only color that I haven't done for myself before. So I did that, but it didn't last long. You know, my black hair, I have to bleach it for a long time. So at the salon, they work really hard on it, and especially my hair, it doesn't really lose color. So I have to bleach it like a few times. 하지 마. 앉아, 저기 앉아. 간식 줄게, 기다려. 야. 기다려. 으쌰. Yep. So actually, my end game of my hair color is actually dark gray. I really want to do that. And in order to do that, for black hair, you have to bleach it many times, then dye it back to darker gray. So that's where I am at right now. It's kind of blonde now because after bleaching, the hair dye doesn't really stay long. On my hair anyway. So it goes back to like a bright yellow, bright blonde. Then I dye it charcoal. So it suits better when I wear suits. Because in winter I enjoy wearing suits. In summer, obviously not, but I can only wear suits in winter and fall. So I tend to have my hair darker. But the whole reason why I dye and bleach my hair is because I'm getting a lot of white hair. I don't mind the full white hair, but I think a bit of white hair, so it looks messy. I don't like it. It's only me though. People don't really notice it, but it's only me. Anyway, so that's that. I didn't realize the package size was such a hot issue because I talked about it but very lightly, and I have no problem people teasing me, although you know they don't know my size, but they stereotype it, and I'm actually okay with it, very okay with it. That I actually embrace it, and I make a lot of joke about my own size, our own size. So I'm okay with that. So I'm quite light-hearted. And only one or two comments saying that I'm hurting Asian people by stereotyping. But come on, honestly, it's not that big. But at the same time, it's not a problem. I never said that having a smaller package is a problem. And you know, we Asians, we travel light, and life is journey. Well, life is tough. Get a helmet. That's first. Second of all, I mean, people used to tease me back in England, although they haven't seen my size. It was a stereotyping, and when I was in England, it was a long time ago. So world was kind of different back then. So I had to go through a lot of racial jokes towards me. I was actually very okay with it because they're mostly my friends. We were teasing each other all the time. And one of the jokes they always made was my imaginary package size, because as I mentioned, we don't get naked in front of each other back in England, so they haven't seen mine. But obviously it's not that huge. Average size, we are not very big. Come on, like we gotta embrace. We gotta admit it. It's on average size. It's not that big. Although we have like a big yellow package, sometimes like a very small ones. And even for black guys, some of them have very humble package, blah, blah, blah. I am well aware, so you don't have to educate me. But thank you for telling me, thinking that I don't know, but I have the package and you don't, so I'm more familiar with the concept. But it was a very light joke, and I didn't mean to hurt anyone, so don't worry about that. And also, when I dated non-Korean women, they didn't really complain about my size. It doesn't mean that I have a bigger package than average, but girls don't really mind. They don't really care about the size so much. I am very well aware, although some of the ladies, they do prefer a bigger package, which is also very okay. Just we are not we are not meant to be. So again, talking about the package size, I didn't think people would talk about that very much, as much as this. So, well, yeah. And also, I'm not very into like a package measuring contest. So having average smaller size is not a problem. It doesn't really affect my life, so I'm okay with that. Someone said that in that person's country, whoever wrote the comment, boys tend to hug girls a bit more when girls have started to grow breasts in schools in younger days. That doesn't really apply me because local Far East Asians, they don't really grow boobs as much. So even though I hug them, I feel pretty much nothing. No disrespect, but it doesn't really affect my hugging habit on female friends in Korea. I feel nothing, even in summer, and there's no uncomfortable moment when I do hug my good friends. And also, even if they have like a big boobs, big breasts, I wouldn't hug them because of it. It's creepy. I mean, we are all creepy sometimes, but I'm not creepy towards my friends. I draw my line very clearly, so let's leave it that. Another issue. I hope I didn't sound like I was disrespecting my own kind, Korean men. Basically, a lot of you are. It's quite surprising that a lot of you who left comments in my video, a lot of you sound very wise. Some are not, but most of you. And basically, men are men. So you got to be careful when you date Korean men. But again, when you try to date like Western men, African men, European men, doesn't matter. Men are men. So you gotta be really careful picking the right one, picking the decent one, and there are always the rotten, bad ones. So Korean men, we are not different. So obviously, I brought up the K-drama thing because a lot of girls who complained to me about Korean men ghosting is because they didn't see that coming, because in K-dramas they are so decent and they didn't expect that that's gonna happen so soon as well. So they have this fantasy towards Korean men being so decent, nice, honest, and doing everything for the girl they are into. We kind of do that until we get what we want. So you gotta be very careful. And on the other hand, some of the girls who just came to Korea and they have this fantasy towards us, and they share the bed like very early stage in their dating game, and then those boys they ghost you. And again, ghosting is everywhere, regardless of the nationality. Obviously, some of us young Korean men, especially, we are taking advantage of the fact that a lot of girls are having interest towards Korean men. So you gotta be very careful. If I had a younger sister, I would tell her the same. Like if you go to the States, if you go to I don't know, like Nigeria, Vietnam, wherever you go, if you have interest in local men, always be careful, because a lot of local men are curious about the girls who are different to the local girls. So it's common sense, to be honest. which is why I brought up the K-drama thing in my last videos. I mean, everyone knows the TV shows are TV shows. It's a fiction, but still, you have this expectation, high expectation of Korean men, and share the bed too early, and then okay, it's kind of, you know, the shit is on you. Too bad. So I want you to be careful, not just for two Korean men, but any man in general. Yeah. About bold, men being bold. If someone left comment that he didn't have a problem getting dates in Korea. I don't know who he is in terms of the race. If you're white, it's not a problem. Korean girls will still date you. If you're black, obviously you wouldn't have a problem getting local girls, local dates. It only applies to Korean men. And if you're Korean American, some girls, they are okay with Korean American bold men because they still think they apply the different criteria. But if you're local Korean, your chance would be slim to none. Too bad. But there are a small portion of local girls who don't mind bold Korean men. There are always exceptions. So if you think like, oh, I'm bold and I'm white guy. Well, if you're white passing, the same. And when I was in Korea, I was getting all the girls. A lot of Korean girls, they actually prefer Caucasian men over local Korean men. A lot of them, not all of them. So you get that advantage, you get that edge, and you being bold as a white man, it's not a problem. So that's exception. Let's have that very clearly. And okay, this is going to be quite a bit of a long answer. Someone asked me why Korean men are so feminine, and someone said, are Korean men very sensitive? Yes and no. But all these answers is coming from one person, and also I spent some time back in England when I was a teenager, and I spent my early adult life in England as well. Although I've been back here for like a long time. So anyway, just remember that I am local, but I am like local. So anyway, so me not being like Korean, it plays a big part in my life. Like my taste in women, my values, my lifestyle, job choices, career choices, all that. So bear that in mind. And some Korean men are obviously very different than me. But the way I see it, a lot of Korean men don't think they are feminine, but the way I see it, they are very feminine in general. Especially when I got a job, my first job in LG. LG is the biggest organization I worked for as a full-time. But at the same time, it's the organization where I saw the most man-child. They are old, but they act like a bunch of children. That's how I felt. Like this guy, my team leader, right before I quit, he was like 15 years older than me, and he's like a kid. Like they I don't know, they kind of like want to flex and like oh, I'm a boss, I'm a strong leader, but like to me you still look like a man-child. I'm sorry, but you're very smart. I respect that, but I don't know, like you leading this team is still weird. But other teams similar. It wasn't just my team leader. But again, it's my one person's experience. So I hope you get that. And I recently have a problem with I have been having a problem with one of my friends. I never thought he was that feminine before I started to have a problem with him. He calls me too often I mean, calling me is okay. I wish girls would call me rather, but anyway. Well, he would call me and I would answer that and tells me, I am sad, I'm depressed, life is tough. But the thing is, he's doing unbelievably well at his job. The things are going very, very well for him. But he says, oh, I still feel empty. Okay, but you have a wife and a kid. Why don't you discuss that with your wife? Because once or twice, I can listen to you, I can talk to you, but you're calling me like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If I don't answer, you text me like 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday. It's too much. So I wanted to tell him that on his face, because it's getting too much. But the thing is, the things that he is so depressed about is him having a flu. That little things depresses him. Now, oh, I got hurt. I banged my elbow, or I cut my arm doing some exercise, and I had stitches, and then that kind of thing really make you depressed. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Look. On the other hand, I have most of my friends, like 99% of my friends, they're quite tough. They're quite opposite to being feminine. Like one of my friends, he had a stroke and he didn't tell me, and he dealt with that with his wife, and he just told me today he had a stroke and a concussion at the same time. So what the fuck? Like you should have told me, like, I'm your best friend. It's like I get through this myself with my wife as a family. Then now it's okay because I don't want you to worry. I think that's how a regular friendship should work. And the guy I have a problem with is he calls me like all the time and I don't answer, and there's no message, so he confirms that it wasn't an emergency. So he just calls me to talk to me, but like during the day, during the week, also over the weekends, early in the morning, late at night. It's like please talk to your wife, or talk to someone professional and pay them. And it's like, oh, wife and I, we don't discuss. He really needs someone to talk to, but I cannot handle that. Like my life is quite a mess as well as it is, and he's doing unbelievable career-wise and family-wise. His family is very happy. Like he has a very happy family, and I have no one except for my lovely dog. And also I have a lot of family problems as well. And I make I make less than 1/5 of what he's making. He's everything is going very well for him, and he still complains and like calls someone who is not doing as well as him, and still complains to me. Like doesn't make sense. And then that makes me complain to some of my friends, but I don't really complain to my friends. But I just told one of our mutual friends, and he's like, that is so weird. And he told me, bro, that's the same guy. I just told him today, that guy, my friend, right? He's like, yeah. And he does this and he does that, and he's like telling me depressed because he has a flu, and like, I don't know what to say. And he goes, oh, bro, I had a stroke and concussion at the same time, and I was in hospital for like a week. And they're like, oh, why didn't you tell me? He's like, so completely opposite. So, but again, it goes to the same for everyone, I guess, not just Korean men or feminine, but I think anyway. So that friend, the particular friend, I'm still avoiding him, and every relationship, whether it's friendship or romantic relationship, healthy distance is a must. And this guy is not giving me any healthy distance and any personal space. And he's Korean, and he's the most feminine guy around me, in my opinion. And I cannot handle that. we've been friends for very long, but this is not gonna work. Okay, so he's a bit too extreme example. But the rest of my friends, they are not as feminine, and also they are not as clingy as really weird. But back in LG time, oh there are a lot of people who are way more feminine than my current friends. I hope that I answered some of the questions you left on my comment section, and I appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. My dog is sleeping in his bed. Bye.